Hello, this is yet another old white guy giving out his thoughts and opinions to the world. This week's video is going to be about corruption, what it is, how it came to be, and how can we fix it. The Constitution begins with "We the people." Lincoln's famous speech ends with "a government for the people and by the people." So I think it's pretty clear that the Founding Fathers' intent was for this to be a country for the people and not just for the richest 1%. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to define corruption as a negative change to the original intent. So how is it that the intent of the Founding Fathers got corrupted so that it favors the few rather than the many? I think there are two major factors for this, the first of which is scale. Our country's gotten dramatically larger than it was when it first started. For comparison purposes, in 1790, 2 years after the Constitution was signed, on average there were only 33,000 people per congressional district. In 2020, that number jumped up to 760 people on average per congressional district. This means that congressmen are roughly 23 times more powerful now than they were before. It only takes a majority of the 535 congressmen or 270 people to enact a law. That small number of people makes it easier to corrupt our Constitution and our government. The second major factor is money. 90% of elections are won by the candidate with the most money, and the majority of campaign donations come from the richest 1%. So the most likely way to win is to have the most money, and the easiest way to get the most money is to go to the 1%. So who do you think that our politicians are going to be beholden to? There are over 700 billionaires as opposed to those 270 people needed to create a law. Most of those billionaires have similar interests and desires when it comes to creating a law. I want to give you what I consider one of the most blatant examples of corruption in our government, and that's the capital gains tax. Unlike the income tax, which goes up to 37%, the capital gains tax is half of that at 20%. Keep in mind that capital gains is income made from money, unlike the income tax, which is generally speaking a tax on people who've worked a job. So through corruption, the 1% has made it so that they are taxed at half the rate of the people who get things done. If that doesn't piss you off, then maybe you don't realize that hedge fund managers, real estate moguls, and the like only pay capital gains income. So if they make $450,000, they're sitting at a tax rate of about 15%. If they make income in addition to that 450K, it's taxed separately because capital gains are taxed separately. 99% of the population is working or has worked over the course of their life. I find it very hard to believe that they would think that income made from money should be taxed less than income made from hard work. But convincing people of corruption isn't the difficult part. The difficult part is trying to fix it. I believe that all private political advertising of any kind should be banned. No spamming us with emails or text, no yard signs, no going house to house, no rallies, none of that. Only equal government-sponsored advertising should be allowed regardless of the party. The only time that candidates should speak to the masses is in government-sponsored debates, debates in which their microphones are cut off when their time is up so it doesn't favor the loudest or most obnoxious candidates. To make that happen, we have to bypass our corrupted elected officials. And the only way to do that is through a citizens' initiative. That is when enough citizens get together to put a law on the ballot. And then when the ballot comes around, they can vote to enact that law and bypass the legislative branch. In my opinion, that is the only way that we can make this a country for the people rather than for the rich. This has been yet another old white guy giving out his thoughts and opinions to the world. Like, subscribe, and I hope to see you next time.